It's a movie about a man raised by gorillas.
Yeah.
The soundtrack doesn't have to be crazy or anything.
Yeah.
And then that motherfucker wins.
Yeah.
He did it for us though.
Yeah, he did, man. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, we missed that shit.
That was a terrible.
Let's do it again. There we go.
We had to focus.
Yeah. That was so slow trying to line up and everything. Well, welcome to another episode of Mofos with a Long podcast.
You already know.
Mm-hmm. And this is a special episode because tomorrow is Mondo's birthday.
Hey. It'll be long past by the time this airs, but
Oh yeah, that is true. That is true. Unless we do some tenant shit or something like that. But yes. And because of that, you picked the movie for today. But before I even talk about the movie, you got some unboxing to do.
oh yeah. Ooh, you got me a gift. I don't know what it is, so I could be unboxing a dildo.
No, don't say-
live
don't
on the
say
podcast.
that,
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what it is.
It would kind of fit this movie, kind of almost.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, I'm saying
dildo?
no.
Hold on. I'll set that right here.
So this is a first like birthday type episode and the first unboxing.
First unboxing. Yeah, that was. Whoa.
And I guess a first of like one of the favorites, right?
I always want to count the Matrix.
Oh yeah, you're right.
The Matrix kind of was.
Yeah. Do you have scissors? Oh, okay. You got some strong hands.
I've been working out, bro.
Oh yeah, you have.
I've been going to the gym 4 times a week.
Changing your life.
Oh snap! What is this?
Open.
Are these gamer glasses?
That's some James
Bro, what
Bond
the
glasses.
hell?
I know. See,
They're Bluetooth. What are they Bluetooth for?
you could talk to the peeps while they're on. It's some James Bond shit.
What?
I think they have like multiple lenses too, like so you could do like if you want to look cool, just put the sunglasses.
You're lying. I kind of want to open these hoes all the way. Is that
I mean, it's all good.
But
I noticed you always have the Razer phone.
yeah, I have
so
the
I was
Razer
like,
phone,
okay.
but they don't make them anymore.
The phone?
Yeah, they don't make the phones anymore. I was hoping they were gonna, cause mine is the 2. I was hoping they were gonna come out with the 3. I've been hogging these. This is what they look like. They look pretty legit.
Oh yeah.
I forgot to be presenting.
It's our first unboxing video, so I don't blame you,
doing
man.
terrible.
Unboxing is an art, man.
It's harder than it looks, I guess.
Yeah.
That's the instruction, man. Hold on, I'm gonna get these hoes out. And...
Shouts out to Michael Pittner, my roommates from college, the one that we had in the Justice League episode. Yeah, he mentioned them because I called him once talking about movies, and he had them on, and he was talking to me about them. He even sent me like the link.
Oh, did he have them on, and he didn't need anything else to like to you or something like that?
He was testing them out, so I was like his test dummy.
Oh dang. This is kind of legit, bro.
Yeah, it looks like some James Bond shit.
That's the speaker where it comes out for your ears. Or what?
I wonder how that would work though, but that's up to you too.
How do they look?
Hey,
I can't see myself. So if I look dumb, like, you know what I mean?
You look like Clark Kent, man. Now you look like Superman.
Yeah, I'm gonna test them out later though.
Okay.
Did they turn on as soon as I opened it? Yeah, they did.
Now you got 2 Bluetooth stuff that
turns on as soon as you open it.
Yeah.
That's crazy, bro. I appreciate you.
Oh, no, man, you carry the show technically, man. You do so much work, again, behind the scenes. I guess I just come in I talk shit for an hour, then you have to do all the extra work. So
you know what though, like as much as like work as it is, I love it.
Oh yeah,
I love it. It's fun to like be there editing and just be like, okay, what can I throw in right now? You know what I mean?
And you've done a lot, man. You just keep improving. Like even me, I'm like a fan of the show now. You know, I just can't wait to see what else you do, and it just keeps getting better and better. But yeah,
I appreciate.
Happy birthday,
that,
my guy.
Appreciate you, man.
But I guess with that, we go to this episode.
Yeah.
You picked a movie because it's your birthday, so you want to pick one of your favorites.
Yeah. So you can pick a favorite on your birthday then?
I guess so. I guess I will.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to maybe look through my list and see.
But yeah, so me coming from a theater background,
okay,
and musicals kind of being my thing, I picked one of my all-time favorite musicals, Repo, the genetic opera, starring a lot of people.
Yeah, yes.
They got what's his name, Paul Sorvino.
Paul Sorvino, yes.
Alexa Vega, Anthony Head.
Okay. Alexa Vega, is she from the Spy Kids movie?
She is,
oh,
yes.
Damn. Did she play Mags?
Huh?
Who did she play?
She's like the main...
Shiloh?
Yeah.
Oh! I was thinking about the mom. That is her.
Yeah.
Did I just have another Jamie Lee Curtis moment?
Yeah, I think you did, bro.
Oh my God. I'm so dumb.
Yeah, she plays Shiloh,
Yeah.
Oh, they got... And that's the thing, too, is like they've got people in there that are like legit opera trained because they've got Paul Sorvino is like legit trained in opera. Yeah. And then so is Sarah Brightman, who plays Blind Mag.
Okay.
She's like a famous she did a performance of Conte Partiro.
You gotta explain that, man.
The time to say goodbye.
Oh yeah, okay.
But it's not originally in English, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So yeah. But yeah, they're she's famous in the opera world or whatever. So they brought in like people that can like legit fucking sing. And so can Anthony Head, the guy who plays Nathan.
Nathan, yeah, okay.
That guy can sing. And not only can he sing, but he can act while he's singing.
Yeah.
But I guess before we get too into it, I guess we can kind of set the premise.
No, you could explain some of the because there's other people you have to talk about. Paris Hilton.
Oh yeah, Paris Hilton. Paris Hilton is in it. And then also we've got I believe one of the writers is in it as well.
Oh, okay. You know who?
The grave robber.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember if he was the writer or I can't remember exactly.
That guy kind of looks like Henry Rollins with longer hair. You know who Henry Rollins is?
No.
You most likely seen him. Have you ever watched Sons of Anarchy?
No.
Oh, okay, damn. I can't think of anything else he's in acting wise. He's in a lot of movies and he's like a rock star.
But yeah, he's very much got like the goth thing going on.
The whole movie is very gothic.
Yeah. And that's what he even says. Like towards the end, he calls it a goth opera, which it kind of is.
Yeah. I would say with the casting, like how you just mentioned, the media did not do a good service promoting the cast. Because when this movie came out, 2008, right? Or 2009? 2008, wasn't it?
I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, it's one of those. Yeah, we'll
My phone's charging all the way over there, so I can't.
We could just clip it in.
We'll clip it in.
But when they were promoting this movie, they kept promoting it as Paris Hilton's movie. What? That's how I remember. They kept promoting it as that movie Paris Hilton's in.
She's in it, but she's not like.
Yeah. I was surprised because the way they promoted it back then, I expected her to be like the main character, or at least see her often. But
I guess she was higher profile back then.
Yeah,
but then like,
but you do a disservice to the people who are actually trained, like how you're saying with the person who played Blind Mags. But
maybe if you pushed like, because Alexa Vega was like really known for Spy Kids, so like if you would have pushed Alexa Vega as like one of the main people, because she is she's
the main character.
She's like the Alice to our Wonderland. But
like you said, Paris Hilton was definitely still huge at that time.
Maybe
towards
she was
the tail end of her popularity, but But you could, I guess, kind of talk about the premise.
The premise. Mm-hmm. Okay, so it's an interesting premise. It's set. What year is it set in?
I don't remember the specific year, but it's just a not so distant future.
Yeah, not so distant future. Yeah. The entirety of the world has come upon an organ failure epidemic, and a company arises that can produce artificial organs for people to purchase. You can purchase them on credit, and you can survive this pandemic of organ failure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We thought COVID was bad.
Yeah. That was just the warm up.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the company being GeneCo. But one of the clauses that comes into effect, and I guess it initially wasn't, but they were able to influence lawmakers to make organ repossession legal.
Yeah.
So if you miss a payment, they have specialized surgeons who come and repossess the organ.
But yeah, the Repo man, right?
Yeah. I like and I'll even say, like, so that whole bit is told at the very beginning in comic book format.
Yeah.
Which I thought was an interesting and pretty cool way to start the movie off, because it's like comic book panels just kind of telling you, it doesn't like delve too deep or like do the whole like, you know, black and white.
They do some bits and stuff in the movie, but it's not like, it doesn't take away from the movie.
Right, yeah.
It's really
and
fast.
even then it's like, like you said, it's really fast, and it's usually done in the middle of a song.
Yeah. So
it's not like you're...
It makes sense. It's not breaking the momentum.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so we see this girl. We just, they throw you right into it.
Yeah.
Because the first thing that you see live action is a girl running, and then she gets fucked up.
She gets her shit repossessed.
Yeah, I think he was repossessing a heart from her.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that like turns into the title thing or whatever.
Man, I'm sorry.
Yeah. But yeah, that's...
It's kind of like a good premise.
Good premise, yeah.
Good explanation. So I'm trying to think, like, what did I expect going to this movie? I expected this shit to be like really bad.
Was it your first time seeing it?
Yeah, it was my first time seeing it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because when it came out originally in 2008, it got like bombarded with bad reviews. And this is the time I still was super influenced by like reviews and stuff like that.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah, because I think it got nominated for a bunch of Razzies and shit.
For real?
Yeah. People did not like this when it came out. It was like one of the worst movies ever made type of shit.
Wow.
Yeah. So I had that mindset going into it. Then I did, even though it's like named, and it has opera in the title. I did not expect them to be singing all the way through, but on one end, it caught me off guard. But I'm also kind of glad, because, admittedly, I do think some of the songs are corny, but I like corny shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So remember, I was like texting you some of the stuff, the lyrics, because it was just like, it was just, to me, it was cringe, but I like cringe shit. Man. But yeah, so when it started, I was impressed with the comic books. The comic book panel, it reminded me of Mad Max. I mean, not Mad Max, Max Payne. Because you know Max Payne, they tell stories through the comic book stuff. And yeah, when the grave robbers started like singing and stuff like that, it's like, oh damn, I guess they're starting off right off the bat. You know, I thought it was going to be some Disney shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when they talk a little bit, then you have a singing moment. You know. Yeah, but he started singing. I was like, I guess this is one of those type of movies, and yeah, I was going into it with like haterade vision, but as we go on, I'll explain. how I felt by the end of it.
Okay.
But yeah, the introduction was it was good, and I like the fact that it's a movie that sets up its own world and its own look.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they set up their universe pretty well.
Very much so.
Mm-hmm.
It's not exactly cyberpunk or anything like that. There is some kind of sci-fi elements to it. One, with the company mass producing the artificial organs.
Mm-hmm.
Two, when they talk to people, they've kind of got the Star Wars hologram thing going on, but not exactly, because they don't move.
There's no motion. Yeah,
It's just the person's face spinning around.
yeah. Dude, when she got sorry to cut you, but when she got the call from what's it called, Lottie, right?
Rossi.
Yeah, Rossi. My bad. When Shiloh got the call from Rossi,
Roddy.
huh?
With the T.
Roti. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. So when Shiloh, my bad. When Shiloh got the call from Roti the first time, the way she slammed that watch phone thing, I thought her ass was like Ben 10 or some shit. Because she fucking slammed that shit so hard.
She was watching too much Ben 10 at the time.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought it was kind of unique. Yeah, like how you said, it's just some sci-fi elements, but you could tell with the budget they can't go all the way in. But they make it work though.
But I don't think it was supposed to, because it's not trying to be like a cyberpunk. They didn't set out to make this look like what's it called? Like Blade Runner or anything like that. Mm-hmm. It wasn't that type of movie. Mm-hmm. Like we said, the world is very much kind of goth, kind of dark. Mm-hmm. I know in today's society we talk about the rich getting away with whatever they want to do. This is kind of a world where that is true, but like to the nth degree. Yeah, you can literally murder someone on the street and like no one will bat an eye.
Yeah, if you got some power and stuff like that.
Which the Largo family has, because their dad is the head of GeneCo.
Yeah, GeneCo. And he has some bad news.
Oh yeah, right? He does have some bad news. He is dying of cancer. They don't specify which cancer. People have said, like, with the amount of time that the doctor gives him, like, it's leukemia, but that's speculation. Yeah. But yeah, and then his bodyguards. Yeah. They're badass. Yeah, dude. The two women. Yeah. They just like run around with like the shotguns either on their back or like in their hands, and then they got the side arms like ready to go. Yeah. And when that doctor like delivers the news, like, yeah, it's terminal. Like, you're not gonna come back from this. He's like, okay.
He didn't have to do it to the guy, man. All he did was told you the news. But I like the introduction of Roti and his family, because Luigi Amber, played by Paris Hilton, and Pavi, when they showed the pictures showing like the debauchery. Oh yeah. Yeah, and when they showed Pavi and he looked at Pavi and Pavi was like this. I fucking
He's
died.
Just like cutting someone's face off because that's Pavi's thing, is like he's always putting a new face on. He's like and he's even got like clips, I think, to, clips on the side of his face to make it easier. Yeah. Which is like so funny to like see him cutting someone's face off in the picture, and then you look up and he's
and he always, his bit is like, I'll come out now and just say Pavi and Luigi were my favorite characters. Oh yeah. Yeah. Pavi always walks around with that mirror. Oh yeah. He's dedicated to that mirror. It kind of reminds me of that one character from Trailer Park Boys. Have you seen that show?
Yeah.
Is it? It's, I don't know if it's Julian or the other guy. I don't know his name, but the one always walks around with
Julian.
Rum and Coke. No matter what, that's Pavi with the mirror. No matter what, man. But yeah. So as you explained, the introduction to Roti, I enjoyed that, and I'm glad you told me that Paul Sorvino was actually classically trained in opera and stuff like that, because I was like roasting the dude, but he did go all the way in.
He went all the way in. Mm-hmm. Not necessarily a movie where he needed to. He took when he heard the word opera. He took that shit literally.
That's true.
And he was like, okay, I know opera.
And I was thinking too, like, because I was thinking Paul Sorvino, like, you weren't the Goodfellas. What are you doing in this movie? It explains why. You know, maybe he didn't care about maybe the plot or anything. It's just somewhere to exercise how he was trained, you know, an opportunity. Maybe he was interested by the plot too. Who knows? But I think maybe it was a way for him to exercise what he was actually trained in.
Yeah, and honestly, like, I'll go ahead and say right now, I think for the role, he was an excellent choice.
Oh yeah.
Because aside from the singing, he brings life to that character very, very well. I don't think it was off. I will say some of the songs that he give him are at some of the moments where I'm like, okay, this particular scene could have been spoken.
Can you give examples?
When he picks Shiloh up
in the car
to go to the show, the first time that they actually meet face to face.
Yeah,
that entire part could have been spoken.
I feel that.
Okay.
Go on.
Like, she's like, I have a blood disease.
Yeah. I see what you mean. It's like they're forcing a song out of it. Yeah, I see what you mean. I was going to say, him giving a backstory about Marnie and Nathan, that could have been spoken too, because he was stacking up words just to try to make it rhyme and stuff like that, you know? I can't think of a specific line that he said, but something about Nathan blaming himself, and he didn't think about the guy who's paying his checks or something like that. There was a line that he said, it just seems like it was super stacked just to try to force it to rhyme. I can't think of a specific.
Honestly, I like that track.
I'm not saying the track is fine, but I wonder if it could just been like spoken.
What? The things you see in a graveyard?
Is it that one?
How's it go? The things you see in a grave.
Oh yeah.
They got like the women doing the backup, and he's like, maggots, vermin.
Yeah.
You want the world for nothing. Yeah, like
he's like damn near he's damn near rapping.
Yeah. And then he's like, he said like, in denial, Nathan. Yes, I forget. He's like, but didn't think to suspect the man who wrote his checks.
Yeah, something like that.
I guess I'll take it to my death.
You definitely love this movie.
I fucking love this movie, man.
I was about to say, going back to the introduction scene, I'm sorry to go all the way back. We're introduced to Shiloh. The grave robber pissed me off, man.
Oh, yeah?
Because they're out there trying to do a Splinter Cell mission. And this motherfucker yells, Graves! and he has the nerve to run after that. Like, did he see you beforehand?
Right.
Yeah. They used the head of the dead person as battering ram to break the fucking the wall so they could crash through it.
But then, that's like they find like a whole like fucking tomb, pretty much, of like just dead bodies, I guess, of like repossession victims. And that's
jackpot to him, right?
Yeah, because I guess something we didn't talk about, which like I don't know why you'd be watching this if you haven't seen the movie.
Oh yeah,
but in case you're one of those people, there is a drug that helps ease the pain of the surgeries that everyone's like having to get, because at this point, it's gone from people are getting surgeries to survive the organ epidemic, or to people are getting surgeries for as a fashion statement, like oh yeah, look at me, I've got a new spine, or whatever. And it's like a class kind of like symbol that I can afford an artificial eye or whatever. And so surgeries just become so common. They have this drug that helps out. There is a street version of that drug called Zydrate, which is extracted from the dead. And I've read up on it. There is some speculation that the Zydrate drug comes from the brains of victims that or people that would have fell victim to the organ failure disease. So it's that it's speculation. It's not.
Because they didn't dive deep into it in the movie, really.
Yeah, no, not really.
And they didn't need to. They set
Yeah,
up their own universe. So
yeah. They focus on what they need to.
yeah. Because imagine like how we're talking about the flashbacks being really quick and the comic book panel to explain some stuff. Like, there's no need to like try to break a movie like this trying to explain what the Zydrate is and everything.
Yeah, because it's not too heavily like a sci-fi, so they don't need to explain like exactly.
Yeah, and I
where it
also
comes from.
I respect movies. I feel like more movies should do this. Like when you set up your world, as long as you do a good job, like making sense in this movie, you don't have to explain every single thing that happens. You know,
Not everything, but
Yeah.
there are some movies that they don't explain enough,
that is true. That
and you're
is true.
just like, huh?
Yeah, that is
Okay.
true. That is true. But sci-fi, I feel like they could get away with not explaining too much things as long as it makes sense in their universe. Yeah. But I guess we kind of dove all the way back to the beginning. But yeah, going back to Rati. But as you were saying, Rati has his what's it called? His street surgeons. His Repo men. And one of them is Nathan, who it happens to be Shiloh's father, right?
Yep.
How did you feel about that reveal when you first saw it?
When I first saw it, sorry, it was like that'd be a jump back. That's some years.
Yeah.
'Cause I've seen this movie like plenty. I think the first time I saw it was probably like 2010.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Yeah. So like it's been a long
Yeah.
time. But yeah, no. The reveal. I mean, like, it's they do it pretty early on.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah.
Because as opposed to having that be like a Darth Vader moment, they kind of use it as a point of tension in the story, which I like that they did that. They didn't try to like build it up into this big thing. Now it becomes this this potential like, is Shiloh gonna find out about this or whatever?
Is your mic on? Just making sure.
Yeah, that's
okay,
all.
my bad. Yeah,
I've been watching.
Okay, I've been paranoid.
Nah, I
But
guess
that's all right,
it's
I
me.
cut you off. But yeah.
No, you're good. But yeah, so I think it's better used as that kind of tool
Okay,
than like big reveal
like big twisting.
type thing. Because I even like that transition. Because what is it? We see. We see after, because Shiloh passes out.
Yeah.
She gets into a situation where she's like about to be detained by the Gene Co personnel.
Yeah, because of a grave robber goof ass.
Yeah,
Yeah.
'cause he's shouting out graves.
Yeah.
that part I'm like, okay, that doesn't make the most sense.
Yeah.
So I'll give you that. But so yeah, when she wakes up, her dad's like, "Oh, that was a bad dream."
Yeah.
And he gives her some medicine because, well, at this point in the story, at least, the story goes that she has a blood disease. We can get into that more later. But yeah, so he makes sure she takes her medicine or whatever. It's like, you can't be outside. You have a blood disease that you can't be outside for too long or whatever. And then they have a whole backstory on Nathan, kind of explaining how he gets thrown into the mix, where his wife was in childbirth and things are kind of looking grim.
Marnie. Right?
Yeah, his wife Marnie, and he ends up botching the surgery. So she dies, but Shiloh, their child, lives. And so he kind of like blames himself for that, or more on that later.
Yeah.
But because there's more to it. I think we kind of already.
Yeah, I mean,
we kind of already revealed it.
No, it's
But
okay.
from Nathan's perspective, that's how things went down. And he has this whole number about like kind of his own self-loathing and like, you know, I'm living a lie. I'm here without you. Trying to raise Shiloh.
Which number is that one? How's it go again?
Oh, that's Legal Assassin.
How's it go?
The years roll by without you, money. 17 have come and gone. Yeah.
That guy, he also goes all the way in.
But even within just that song, because like he's singing it in a hallway, and then as we come towards the end of the song, he has gone. There's a layer that he has behind his fireplace.
Yeah.
Where he, if he ever needs to do like work at home, if he needs to work on somebody at home, he's got this like secret layer that's got his outfit to be the Repo Man. And
like some Batman shit, you know?
Yeah, really. But like even as he like transitions to that, like you can hear it in his voice, like the "I'm the monster." Yeah, like it comes out. And one thing that I really appreciate about Anthony Head doing this in his performance is he creates kind of two personas that are constantly at war with each other.
Yeah.
There's the loving father, like caring doctor persona that he has
Around Shiloh.
Yeah. And then there's just like the like ruthless murderer.
Yeah.
Like almost like so ruthless you're almost not human. Repo Man. And it becomes this entire persona that you can see like fighting back and forth.
Yeah, I mean, he seemed to be having fun a little bit though, as a Repo Man. Because in that it's a thankless job.
Oh yeah. But like even then, at the end of the thankless job number, because like to finish it off, he has like shoved his hand in the dude and is like moving his mouth like a puppet while he's singing it. But he even like
he seems disgusted with himself afterwards.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like he looks at himself in disgust,
like how we do after 10 minutes on the hub.
10 minutes, 30 minutes, however long it takes, you know.
It's almost you almost
after
end
that clarity. And then you see you were watching some crazy
some crazy stuff.
And you
just like
just shut the computer down.
You're just like why are my genetics such a bitch? I'm so sorry.
Oh my god, dude.
But yes, he's definitely in character. I'm not. It's weird because I still feel like I'm going to end up being positive, just like you. But I found a lot of this stuff corny. But again, I like corny shit. So I was just having fun with it. You know? So when he's singing going all the way in, I'm like, this shit's so cringe. But I'm just like, hey, at least you knew the assignment and you went on the way in. I'd rather you go all the way in and then just half-ass it. Because at that point, it's not fun. You know? You just want to turn the shit off. But yeah, that scene where he's talking about being, you know, it's a thankless job and you see him shoving his hand as a puppet. I was like, man, this movie's kind of gross. And I was thinking, like, how did the critics, because I could imagine people like, oh, okay, this shit's nasty. Let me step the fuck out. But it's just a goofy ass movie, dude, that doesn't really take itself too seriously.
Yeah, well, I think some of the, I don't know if it was the directors or some of the people who worked on Saw. Also worked on this movie.
Okay.
So, I mean, right off the bat, that should have told you what kind of vibe to expect from the movie.
That's true.
Also, this is an adaptation of a play.
Yeah.
It's called The Necromancers. Something I forget. Yeah. Or no, not Necromancer. Or is it
maybe Necromancer? I mean, that sounds like evolving dead people. Right?
Yeah, something like that. But yeah. I don't know why. That feels like so off. We'll put it
Necromancer?
Yeah, necromancy.
It does sound like some Lord of the Rings type shit, dude. Like that's like a class you pick in an RPG.
There's a ring, and it's like a ring, a meme.
Yeah, a ring.
And they use that like format from Lord of the Rings or whatever. It's like, I'm going to go avenge my brother's death, and it's like, you have my sword, you have my bow. The necromancer's like, and you have your brother.
Oh man, that's a good one. But yeah, you were saying that it's based on a play.
Yeah. So it's obviously there's going to be that cheesiness to it, and that's something I don't know if we've talked about on the podcast before, because I don't know if we've done a movie that's been a play.
Not yet.
Not yet. This would be the first one.
The first one. Man, it's an episode of a bunch of firsts.
Yeah. First unboxing, first movie that was a play.
Yeah.
But yeah, one of the things about theater is that you've got to entertain the entire crowd. So you can't just act for the front row. You have to act for the back row too.
Okay.
So everything that you do has to be big.
Okay, I see.
To the point that it looks cheesy.
Okay.
And one of my directors told me, is like, if it feels cheesy, then you're doing it right.
Okay, I see now.
And so movie, film acting and theater acting are kind of different in that way.
Yeah.
Where when there's a camera in your face, it really comes down to that like realism and trying to get those like little subtleties with your facial movements and those things like that. In theater, that shit cannot be seen from the back row.
Yeah.
So it's got to be
Exaggerated.
everything.
Yeah. I see now.
So I think that, this being a theater production, they had a lot of that in mind. And I think that that's why a lot of the things from, especially, I've never seen any filmings of the production or anything like that, but I could probably imagine a lot of these songs are taken straight from the play.
Yeah.
Because I think there's even one song in the credits that didn't make it into the movie.
Oh, okay.
That is from the play,
Okay.
I think.
I didn't last long enough to hear that one.
Oh, you didn't?
Yeah.
It kind of gives more into like what happens to the main character after the movie closes. But yeah, so
I want to. I don't know, hopefully it doesn't stop your train of thought, but I want to say something like what you just described with the exaggeration and stuff like that. It makes sense why I think the weakest person in this movie was Paris Hilton. Because if you think about it, like her performance wasn't as exaggerated or as like big. I'm not saying, it wasn't as big compared to the other ones.
Okay.
Like everybody else was definitely over the top. Hers did not. She did well for the movie, but it did not. Maybe it's a character too, but it didn't match the enthusiasm or just like the exaggeration of the other ones. But it might have been her numbers too. Yeah, numbers in that character.
I can see that. I think she's got more background acting for cameras.
Yeah.
She did reality shows. She's done a couple movies. So yeah, I don't know that she's been in like theater productions.
Yeah, theaters. And she wasn't the best actress in the first place. In like other stuff. Like
she wasn't terrible though.
No, she wasn't terrible. She wasn't the best. She knew what like.
She's not going to win an Oscar.
Yeah.
But she also doesn't deserve a Razzie.
No.
For acting.
Yeah, I've seen worse actors.
Yeah, I mean like.
Don't say it.
No.
Who?
No.
Your boy Cusack.
Oh no, he's not even a bad actor.
Okay, he's just a bad action. He's just not believable.
I don't see him as an action star, but there was a little bit where they were trying to like push him to be an action star. I was like, John Cusack, bro.
Not 2012. You can imagine he'll make it that far.
Oh man, that. Yeah, like with 2012, bro. Like He's the guy I'm supposed to like follow to safety. Hell no. If I was his kid in that fucking movie, I'd be like, we're fucked, bro.
We love you, John Cusack. Please come on the show one day.
We'll apologize to you in person.
But my bad. I feel like I caught you off your train of thought.
That has nothing to do with this movie.
But yeah, I was just talking. You were talking about the like how to act in theater and stuff like that, and I just brought Paris Hilton.
Yeah, I think some of that has to do with her role. She doesn't have the biggest part in the movie. And also on top of that, she plays kind of a strung out kind of druggy. One scene where I will rival that idea, she's in it for like a split second, but it's a musical number called Mark It Up.
Okay. How does it go? You have to like sing it for me to
just
oh, is that the one Pavi and Luigi? Oh yes.
So when she comes in at first, she's very animated, like, where the fuck is Dad, brothers?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's for sure. I don't even think she's acting. That's just Paris Hilton.
Well, that's there's some question there, like, was she typecast because she plays this like bratty daughter to a rich man type thing? But she played it very well.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, I give her props because, I mean, we're spoiling things. All the way at the end when she does her musical number on the stage for everybody, like, her face just completely falls off.
Isn't that a saying? When it's like my face fell off or something like that, or my face hit the floor. Isn't that a saying when people are surprised or some shit like that?
A jaw hit the floor.
Oh shit. Okay, I fucked that all up. All right, my bad.
I was like, what is he trying to say?
Man, I mean, this is. Well, I mean,
don't judge a cover by.
Oh yeah. I was just about to bring up the fact that I'm African too, about this whole thing. But yeah.
No. So it's like, you know, I give her props for whatever bad people have to say about like Paris Hilton or whatever, like to go and do something that could even be perceived as like you playing like a over dramatized like kind of villainous version of yourself, and then to like go and play a part where like your face is gonna fall off in front of a crowd and stuff like that. Like, I give her props. Yeah, you know what I mean?
I have to give her props in life. Like, she transitioned well. Isn't she like a DJ now?
Oh yeah, she is doing the DJ thing, which is like, is awesome.
Yeah,
but I mean, a lot of people are Shaq's a DJ now.
Oh, okay. But does no, actually, this has nothing to do with the movie. But going to the Mark It Up, dude. That's when I was like, I love these guys are grimy, but I don't. At that point, I was like, to me, I was like, man, this movie's it's kind of awful, but I'm liking it because what's his name? Luigi. And Poppy going back at it, and he's saying like, I think my brother and sister need to fuck or something like that.
Oh yeah.
He's like, oh, that's some nasty shit. But then Luigi starts singing, and he does like this snarl whenever you notice.
Yeah.
Whenever he sings, then he's saying that he likes the if there's a hole.
Oh, he's like, I will find a hole and fuck it.
Yeah, then you hear like the boing boing sound effect when you say that. I'm like, what the hell am I watching? I think at that scene, I texted Victoria. I was like, Amanda got me watching some shit, but I love it so far, man. Or it's like, if there's not a hole, I will make one. He stabs the girl right in front of him.
Yeah. He's like, like just his anger issues kind of really come out. We get to see like, yeah, he's a dude. He's like, he's got some issues. He'll kill anyone for anything. Yeah. And he can't stop, and that's like
that's his thing.
That's his thing. Amber's strung out on Zydrate. And getting surgeries all the time. She's addicted to both, really, the surgeries and the drug.
Yeah.
Pavi can't stop stealing people's faces. So I guess he has to kill them too, right?
Yeah.
And then Luigi just kills people because he gets pissed off way too easy. So yeah, he like some Gentern like bumps into him.
Yeah.
And then he just like kills her
Or
right on the
remember
spot.
that scene like when he got drinks, like, what is this, rat piss? And he kills the person.
Oh yeah, because the cappuccino. Here's your cappuccino, sir.
Yeah. I'll just go right to it and say my favorite part of this whole movie has to do with Luigi. It's kind of at the ending of the movie, but when fucking Nathan Repo Man brings in like I think some body parts or something like in some cooler, and Luigi's like, "Who ordered pizza?" or some shit like that.
I could go for a slice.
Go for a slice. I fucking died. It was so random, dude.
I love this shit because they look like they were having a fun time.
Yeah. Especially Luigi and Pavi, man.
They were really fucking. Especially that number, Mark It Up. They look like they had a fun time filming that. The whole like one of my favorite like sung lines at least. Was like when Pavi comes in that song, he's like, ask a Gentern who they prefer. 10 out of 9 will say the Pavi.
Pavi, dude.
I'm like, that's not how math works, but all right.
The scene Pavi was getting, I guess, his new face, and he had the two girls.
Oh,
I was like, oh, Jesus.
That man's a G.
Yeah.
Getting like face surgery while getting some face.
He got getting some face. Yeah. Then he also has a mirror looking at his own face.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. Yeah, those I don't even know where we're at now. We're just kind of
jumping around. Yeah, like there's so much to talk about with this movie because like I said, I could talk about this movie for days. Like it's great. I guess go.
No, you could.
No, you go. You already interrupted me.
Yeah, you're right. I would say while watching it, I was like legit thinking like, why does Armando love this movie so much? Yeah, and watching it, I still didn't understand it, but this review has definitely revealed a lot because your background and stuff like that, and knowing so much about these type of, I guess, movies and these type of world with theater, it explains a lot, you know. And also with playing and stuff like that. So now I see why you really enjoyed it, and I'm wondering, do you think more people would have appreciated this movie if they knew about the plays and stuff like that, like how you just explained to me, because that opened my eyes a lot with this movie?
I don't know if people would have appreciated it more. I think even if people had that knowledge of like, you know, how plays work and how the actings work, I think when people go to see a movie, sometimes unfortunately, even if it is based on a stage production, they go in looking for that film feel and stuff like that. Exactly. As far as the acting is concerned, or as far as the content is concerned, I guess, like when it doesn't exactly fit that, and then they're like, okay, yeah, this is bad. And I do think that had a lot to do with how people interpreted the movie initially. It has definitely gained a cult following, and I think a lot of people who enjoy, one, gory movies, and then two, who kind of have their hearts close to the theater world, really appreciate the movie.
And people like me who just appreciate campy movies too, man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I feel like this is a modern day Rocky Horror show. Kind
of. It's in kind of the same vein, I would say. And I like Rocky Horror too. I was in a Shadowcast for a little bit.
Oh, okay.
For that as well.
Could you explain for people who don't know what like a Shadowcast is?
What Shadowcast is? Yeah. Okay, so imagine you go sit down at a movie theater, and they play Rocky Horror on the screen, but there's also people acting out Rocky Horror in front of you. So it's like a play and a movie all at once, but then also there are interactive elements to it too. You can buy goodie bags and throw bread whenever the bread is supposed to be thrown, or like they'll give you some, like every time they say one of the two main characters' names, you're supposed to say like asshole or whore or whatever. So like it becomes a big interactive thing. I think they have something similar for The Room.
Oh yeah, they do.
Where there's a picture of a spoon like on a mantelpiece.
Okay.
In the movie, and so people will bring spoons to throw at the screen.
Okay.
Whenever the spoon just shows up. But yeah.
Remember, there is no spoon. No.
Wow. But yeah, no. So I guess that's basically what a shadow cast is. Yeah,
okay.
I was in one of those for a little bit. So yeah, I definitely appreciate because of that. A lot of people like in the cast, the shadow cast, they're like outside of us doing this, we don't talk about Rocky.
Oh, okay, really?
Because I mean, we were doing it like every weekend.
Yeah, that is true.
If you're doing like, we would have a rehearsal every Friday and a performance every Saturday, and it's like at that point you're acting out the movie every weekend. At least twice.
Yeah.
And it's just like
it's tiring.
You get tired. So I do appreciate it, but at this point, like I don't see myself watching it for a while.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, with this one, I haven't been involved in a shadow cast. I think there was something like that going on for this one as well. I'm not entirely certain, but I think I heard about.
I read this has gotten to that point that people do dress up and stuff to go see it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's become, like you said, cult classic.
Cult classic, yeah.
People, it's an event now. At this point, we're just kind of jumping around. So, I know it's hard to say. What are some, because you did mention when I text you, like you do have some flaws. Like what are some flaws that you have with this movie? Well,
so... One of the flaws, I guess I kind of spoke on already, is there were some moments that I get it's a goth opera.
Yeah.
But like not every bit of it has to be sung, and some of it could have been spoken more and probably been more effective. But on top of that, there were some things that kind of weren't touched upon intently. They just kind of like show you a little bit and then expect you to kind of like connect the dots later on, because for the longest time, even before this, we thought about doing it for the podcast. I was confused as to why Roddy had made the accusation that Nathan was poisoning Shiloh.
Yeah.
And then it kind of clicked. He gives her Zydrate.
Yeah.
Diluted Zydrate. And when I went to go look it up, Alexa Vega said, yeah, they even made it a point to film me drinking the entirety of the glass, and it got really annoying having to have the camera in my face like until the entire glass was gone. Yeah. So that was like a whole big thing, is like he's giving her Zydrate to keep her sick.
Yeah.
And then gives her the meds to make her better. So that she's kind of reliant on him.
That's kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah.
And that's where she thinks that like blood disease, that's what creates the effects that she gets. And every time that goes on, she thinks she's having like some sort of attack from the blood disease, but it's really she's going through withdrawals from the Zydrate, which is really fucked up.
Yeah, you definitely do a good job explaining that. I definitely did not get that from the movie.
And we're gonna stop right there. So this next portion of the video, I go into an explanation of how there's this song at the end of the movie that plays during the credits, like basically kind of gives this backstory into Alexa Vega's character Shiloh kind of getting into a junkie, gives a darker end to the story, whatever. So I was mistaken at the time of making the video. That is not actually how that goes. The song that plays at the end credits of the movie was actually cut from a middle segment of the movie. There was actually supposed to be this whole subplot of Roddy making Shiloh go through all of these tests in order to find her cure. He kind of misleads her into saying, okay, well, Zydrate is going to be your cure. So he leads her into this situation where the grave robber is hung upside down. There is a corpse right next to him. Shiloh asks him for the Zydrate, and he doesn't have any on hand because Amber cleaned him out. But there is the body laying right next to him, which they could pull the Zydrate out of. So they sing this song like a needle into a bug, where basically Shiloh is trying to build up the courage to put the needle into the corpse and pull out the Zydrate so that she can take it. So at the end of this number, Shiloh flips the body over, and it's actually her mom's corpse that Nathan has been keeping inside of the house this whole time. It looks like it's just like a mannequin version of Marnie. Turns out to be her corpse, and it's actually visible in other shots of the movie. We also see that the corpse is missing the eyes, which actually leads into a bigger subplot where Blind Mag's eyes are actually Marnie's, taken after her death. That whole sub-story was supposed to make Blind Mag taking out her eyes a little more dramatic and add some fluff to it. But yeah, normally I would have done this explanation through text, but there's a whole lot to cover, and I just thought it would be easier to pop in and give you the rundown. All right, back to the episode.
Oh, those were like the only flaws you really had?
What with like things being unclear and
not everything need to be
not everything needed to be sung.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, yeah, I can't really think of any other flaws. I mean,
if you can't think of anything, there's nothing. Try to force any.
like I said, either Paul Sorvino, like I know when you're classically opera trained,
yeah.
And you have a chance to utilize that, because I'm not sure how often he gets to utilize that.
Yeah, that's true.
He went all the way in to the point that like I feel like he could have pulled back a little bit and been on like everybody else's level, but that man like he was on a mission.
Yeah, that's true. I will say Nathan matched him though, man.
Oh yeah,
yeah, he matched him, but like you said, maybe Nathan just did a different type with the acting as he's performing, too. But yeah, there's a scene that Blind Mags, when she finally, I guess, tries to get out of her contract by taking her eyes out. There's a scene that Paul Sorvino made me laugh because it's I guess maybe he saw it coming. Because the moment she takes her eyes out and talks like she'd rather be blind or something like that, he just casually just walks over like, I guess I'll kill you now, and just cuts the rope. Yeah, I just like that way. He's like, okay. He just looks so casual about it.
Well, I think like the minute that he saw her like diverting from the number, he was like, okay, she's gonna try to start some shit. Let me just go ahead and kill this bitch.
I just like how laid back he was when he did it.
Well, because like to them it's nothing.
Yeah.
Like that family is so sadistic that like one life means nothing. And while yes, Mag is like the face of Jinko,
he doesn't care.
He doesn't give a fuck. And he like and even the grave robber says like nobody crosses Jinko, not even Repo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
even I guess with Nathan too.
Yeah.
Right? I'm trying to think of other things to like, I guess, talk about. So what were some of your favorite numbers?
Oh man, favorite ones. So Legal Assassin, the one that we talked about, where Nathan's kind of like talking to his dead wife and then kind of transitions into like Repo Man mode.
Yeah.
That one, Mark It Up, is obviously one of the best ones in the movie, I think. And then there's another one where basically there's been tension that's created because Mag wants to leave Jinko. She no longer wants to be the face of Jinko. But her contract states that if she ever leaves Jinko, that they can repossess her eyes. So they've come to that point where they're like, okay, well, we're going to do it. We're going to repossess your eyes. They try to pass that assignment on to Nathan, and he's reluctant to do it. But so they take him down to work on another victim or, customer, however you want to look at that.
The one he does like basically some Arkham City shit where he hangs him upside down and like ropes down too.
No, not that one. Okay, it's because everyone's there. It's it's Roddy, Luigi, Pavi.
I remember
all of the Gen turns. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, exactly. They've got basically like the kill room set up with all the plastic everywhere.
Yeah.
And they keep telling him like, remember what you did to Marnie, and shit like that. And then so like he's kind of like having this like conflict of character. Like I do remember. I remember all of that. And then like
I'm so sorry.
And then like but like I like that one because that's one of the moments like we see the monster win in the end, and it just like comes out because they're like egging him on, and he finally like he just picks up the blade, and he's talking about like, I remember every it's like, I remember working every victim with acute precision.
Yeah.
And he's like, just like
slicing and dicing.
Yeah. And like, you don't see it fully.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like out of focus. But when he leaves, that dude's neck is like barely hanging on by a thread. And like,
you see the ball, not the balls, but like the stomach and everything too.
Yeah. Like everything's just like fucked up. That whole, the song itself, I think, is really good, and then just the visual of them trying to like rile him up and get him into that like monster mode, and then like, yeah, you are gonna take out Mag for us, and shit like that. And he gets riled up. He like takes it all out on that dude, and then after that, just like, cool, calm. I'm not gonna do this job.
Yeah.
Go find someone else. Like I thought that whole scene was like really powerful.
That's also my favorite number. I remember.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I like the way he was just saying like, I remember. I can't say with a straight face. But I also like how they worked in that I remember part even at the ending. Because remember right before he's about to get killed. By Nathan's about to get killed by Roddy. He works it in the I remember parts, then he diverts into another number. I mean, he would know more than me, but that one was my favorite number in this movie. The other ones, again, I'm going to be repeating myself. I'll talk about it when I guess kind of give my review. But like you, I wasn't. It's weird. I wasn't as positive as you, but I think it's because one, I'm not into that world and stuff, and so I was expecting the film. So I think I was seeing some film shit here and there, like, oh, why would he do that? Like I think there was a scene they did a flashback. Then they cut to Nathan to start maybe do a number, but right before it, there was like a long pause where he's not moving. It was just like frozen. Then they played while he's singing, but I was like, damn, you could have just done like a seamless transition, a better transition.
Into the song?
Yeah, into the song.
Which
I can't remember the number. It's the one he's definitely in the living room, and they just kind of do a flashback. I don't know if they did a flashback via comic book or showing like a little shot. I think it was via comic book panel.
Was it Legal Assassin?
I think so.
Because they stopped to give everyone's backstory through like the comic book panels.
Yeah. But it's like after the comic book panel ended, and I guess they're about to have Nathan sing. There was a 3-second part where it's just paused. Then it goes in. I was like, that could have been a smoother transition. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I think halfway through a movie, I was like, who gives a fuck about the technical?
Where did you end up watching it?
YouTube.
YouTube. The one that I bought.
Yeah, the one that you bought. Yeah.
Okay, the one that I bought is a version I have never seen before.
Oh, okay.
It's the same movie, but there are some extensions. Like I had never seen Blind Mag's performance.
Oh, really?
All the way. Yeah, in the theatrical version, they trim it.
Oh,
very.
I wonder why.
Kind of short. I guess just to shorten the runtime.
Okay.
But yeah, there a lot of it's trimmed down. Like none of the information is lost.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of certain areas where they felt they could trim down the movie. Like I said, like we get that Mag is putting on a performance.
Yeah.
So we don't need to see the entirety of the performance.
Yeah.
We just need to see that she does one.
Yeah.
So they cut it down. So yeah, I had never seen the entirety of her performance before it. So like because of the version that I ended up buying, because I've never owned a copy of it.
Okay.
But yeah,
is it possible like you got the rated or like director's cut of this stuff?
Possibly.
Yeah.
It wasn't marked as it though.
Yeah.
When I bought it, it wasn't marked as like a director's cut or anything. So I didn't know it was gonna be like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just like had never seen the everything to this extent before. Like I said, it's not much, but a few things here and there are extended.
Yeah. I guess I wouldn't know the difference because this is my first time viewing this stuff. And I wonder if it would have made a difference to people who maybe didn't like it at first. Maybe not, because you said it didn't add too much. It wasn't too much of a difference. I'm kind of ready to give my review of this movie. Or before that, I guess we kind of talked about the legacy that it's become a cult classic and stuff like that. I'm trying to think, like, for example, what's it called? Rent? Rent is still going on, right?
Rent
as a play.
Yeah.
How come this one didn't really catch on? Is it because of the topic, or?
I think, I think it might be the subject matter. What's interesting to me is that it originated as a play.
Yeah.
With the level of gore and stuff that there is, like I said, I've never seen a filming of a production of it. But it seems like it would be difficult to make all of that happen. You know what I mean?
The production, like for the play, to keep going like that. Yeah, I see.
Like to have like that level of gore on stage, or something like that. You know what I mean? Also, on top of it probably being difficult to do, as far as theater is concerned, I don't see many like theater audiences kind of enjoying that too much, or at least enough to go watch it multiple times.
Yeah. So you think it's definitely a niche thing, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Even maybe play wise and movie wise, it's just always going to be cult. Yeah. So I guess because it's more of your movie, and I feel like I'll be repeating myself because I wanted in my review, when I give my numbers, I'm going to say more positive things, because I feel like I keep going a circle of like, I thought it was awful, but I liked it. But I'm going to actually give more things that I actually really liked. I would definitely give this a first, I guess, 7. What did I say? 7. 7 pavitums out of 10. And the positives I will give is that I definitely admire that everybody went all the way in. You know, they didn't try to pull that bullshit of like, oh, this isn't that big of a movie, it doesn't have that big of a budget, I'll just half-ass it because I need the paycheck type of shit. Everybody went in. Paul Sorvino, Alexa Vega. You said Anthony Head. That's his name.
Yeah.
Yeah. They submerge themselves into the character, into the world, into the story. Into the numbers as well. Then even I complained about Paris Hilton, and she maybe it's because of the character that she played. You definitely bring up a good point there because she plays a strong out character. Maybe that's why she's not on the same level as them at the whole time. But yeah, she also does a good job in this role. I like that the fact that it does set up its own universe. So you could take it as it is, you know? And I like the fact that it has its own look and style. You know, it looks cheap to me, but it looks like that was done on purpose because it's a future that's kind of fucked up, you know? Again, not the best CGI, but they use the CGI when they need to. When I kind of do watch shots of the city and everything. Yeah. And to me, it's a movie that has its own identity. Yeah, maybe some people did not agree with it. They were disgusted by it or something like that, or because they were grossed out with the violence and shit like that, or how crude it could be. But you cannot deny that this movie does not follow the same formula as other movies. Like, this is its own movie. It does its own thing. And to me, it's a fun movie. Like, it's definitely unforgettable. Like I told Victoria, I was watching it, I was like, man, this is some shit, but I'm fucking enjoying it, dude. All 3 times I watched this movie.
You watched it 3 times?
Yeah.
Damn.
I just kept laughing. I just kept laughing the whole way through, and I was never bored. You know, I was never bored watching this shit. Again, yes, I guess I could go to my negatives. Yeah, there's some technical aspects I thought was kind of wonky from a film perspective. You know what I mean? I thought a lot of the stuff was cringy, but again, I've repeated it so many times because it's me. You know, it's me. I'm not into musicals, period, except some Disney shit here and there. So I think musicals will always kind of be a turn off for me. But despite saying that, I still find the cringy stuff enjoyable because I'm that type of person. And also, the songs just stick to my head. Yeah, even though I thought it might be cringe, I just found myself just randomly saying like, why is my genetics such a bitch recently? Or the I remember or stuff like that. I just randomly find, or the thankless job thing. I just randomly find myself thinking about that now. So it's definitely like an earworm. And yeah, that's I guess the negatives I had. Just some stuff is cringy. Like the technical aspect. There's a lot of technical stuff I think is wrong with it. But for this movie, there's no point going in on it because of that. You know what I mean? So I just kind of let that shit go. But yes, 7. I think that's a first for me too because I usually give 8s. Yeah, 8. So if it's not a 7, it's something lower.
I think that's a fair rating, especially for you. You're not a big fan of musicals. You know what I mean? It's surprising to hear you watched it 3 times.
Oh, really?
Do you see this being something like you'll watch in the future?
Oh, 100%. Yeah? 100%. I was thinking like I'm definitely going to recommend this shit to my brother so he could watch it, but definitely not watch it with his girlfriend. Because I don't know how people would take to the gore and everything. And I was thinking about watching with Victoria too, but I was like, I don't know how she'll react to the gore. Yeah. But, well,
she doesn't do gore.
Nah, not too much. Yeah, especially not one. There's crude too. Yeah. But how you ask, I would definitely watch this over. If it's one of those things, like if it's on, I'm not going to turn the shit off. I'll sing along with it too, you know. But I'll let you give your rating for me to give my last point.
Okay. So my rating is going to come from a number, surprisingly, I didn't touch on. It actually is another one of my favorites. I don't know why I kind of blanked when I was talking about my favorite numbers. But I'm going to give this film 8.5 little glass vials.
Oh, okay.
From the Zydrate Anatomy number.
How's that one go?
Zydrate comes in a little glass vial.
Yeah. Is that the one that I guess Paris Hilton comes in How does she go?
Grave robber.
Yeah, grave robber.
I like at the end of that number, she like faints, and her bodyguards are like on either side, and they're like fanning her.
Yeah.
That shit was like funny to me. But like I said, this one's kind of close to my heart. It checks a lot of boxes for me. Like I said, as someone who kind of has a theater background, it has a lot of those elements, especially someone, I also dabble in music, so the musical aspects of it, just being able to, like you said, like provide some songs that like get stuck in your head and they're fun. Even when you're not watching the movie, sometimes I'll throw on some of the songs in the car.
Oh, okay.
And just sing along to them. I really like a lot of Nathan's songs. I think they're fun to sing. There's also just like some really good moments that I think that they capture, even if you're not a fan of musicals. There's one that I get emotional every time I see it, towards the end when Nathan is dying on the stage. Yeah. They have that song that like, I didn't know I loved you so much.
Yeah.
With him and Shiloh, and that ending line was like, we will always have each other in our time of need. He's like, Shiloh, you're the world to me. And then he like dies. I was like,
oh, really?
Dang. Every time I see it, I'm just like, oh. But yeah, like you were talking about the world building. It's this dark, gritty world. The only people that like get to have it clean and nice are the richest, the wealthiest.
Yeah.
Everyone else, like if you're not that rich, you're
a scum, basically.
Yeah, and you're just kind of fighting for survival at that point. I think that's the side that Shiloh gets to see, because Nathan is a GeneCo employee. Yeah. So I'm assuming is paid handsomely for his part in being a repo man. And they not that they live in like, an ivory tower like the Largos do. Yeah. But they have a fairly large house. And I think the grave robber kind of introduces Shiloh to like, this is how the common folk are living. Yeah. And it's kind of a fucked up world out here,
grimy.
And I think it's interesting to do that with the character like Shiloh, who's never seen any of the outside world before.
Oh yeah, and
they just kind of like, this is how it is. Forget the shit that you see on TV.
Yeah.
But yeah, the actors, I think. There are some weaker parts of some people's performances. I don't, and this is just kind of a generalization. This is not to do with her performance particular in this movie, but just in general, I don't think Alexa Vega is the strongest actor. Yeah. But she was good enough for the movie. There are some moments where I would have liked to see her dig a little deeper into the emotions of her character, or make some different acting choices. But overall, her performance, for the most part throughout the movie, was where it needed to be. Yeah. We kind of talked about Paris Hilton, kind of, maybe she's not that familiar with theater, so she wasn't as animated as everybody else kind of was. We touched on like her being strung out. Yeah. Paul Sorvino just
he's going all the way in.
All the way in with the opera aspect of this movie. Philip Head, fantastic performance. Like I said, I love that.
Is it Philip or Anthony?
Anthony Philip Head.
Oh,
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. I just call Anthony Head.
Okay.
But yeah. I was getting some head.
Pavi was.
Pavi sure was. Yeah, no, I love that. What he created with the character, this kind of like back and forth of like personas and which one's going to win this time around.
You're talking about Nathan, right?
Nathan, okay. Yeah. Yeah, so I like what he did there with his character Nathan. Pavi's just love him. You can't like he's just. I like even like when he's like, I'll give gene code to the girl.
Yeah.
And Pavi's like in the audience, like all of it. Yeah. Oh no. But yeah, just like stupid little moments like that. Like it's there's so many like funny moments, and they even find like scenes to throw in the little like boing.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you know, like
sound
little sound effects in there.
Even when Nathan was given his number about it's a thankless job, there's a part like appears out of thin air. Yeah, and you hear the boing sound effects.
Yeah, and you hear like the stretch and snap when he's like pulling out the intestines and shit like that. So like a lot of it is gross, but that leads into another point: is this movie doesn't heavily rely on the CG.
Yeah,
a lot of it is practical effects, which I think works great
for sure. Yes,
it makes a large majority of the movie kind of make sure that it won't get lost to time.
Yeah,
as far as the effects, the city flyovers and shit like that, like that doesn't look great in this day and age.
But it doesn't last long though. It's only like 3 seconds.
Yeah. I was gonna say I don't even know if they looked great back then.
Oh,
you know?
no, dude. That's some straight to DVD CGI right there.
They took a page out of Robert Rodriguez's.
Oh yeah, shit! It took Alexa Vega.
Yeah,
and his technique.
Yeah. But yeah. The negatives I kind of already said. Some shit didn't need to be sung. And then what else did I say was a negative? I forgot.
You said some of the songs. Damn, I already forgot. Actually, it's been a long episode to be honest.
Not everything was clear.
Yeah.
There's shit that like you got to connect the dots later on. But yeah, overall, 8.5. I know like it's one of your favorite movies, but you're giving it an 8.5. Like I acknowledge it has its problems.
Yeah.
It's not one that I throw on like super often, but it's also not one that I can throw on as background noise because I'll just get sucked into it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Especially with the numbers, it you can't help it. You know. Again, I think I said this in the last episode. I'm glad for season 2 we've been doing more movies like this because I would have never thought about checking out this movie.
Did you even know it existed?
No, I knew it existed, but remember I told you like I just kept hearing that it was one of the worst movies ever made. So whenever I hear Repo, like I remember you talking about Repo almost 2 years ago now when we first started talking and we were talking about favorite movies and you mentioned it and my head's like, what the fuck would he, why does he like that movie? You know, because I've always heard nothing but bad things about the movie, at least around that time. So it was never in my bucket list or my list to check out. So I'm glad that you recommended it and your enthusiasm again made me check it out. And even though I was questioning your logic as I'm watching the movie, I understand now with the review. Like, okay, I see
now
why.
I'm a believer. No, look at that. No.
I can do the straight face.
Remember what you did to money.
And before I guess we close off, there's one thing Nathan did. Well, I guess when he's talking to Blind Mags, Blind Mags is like bitching at him, and you can hear him gearing up because he's like. Before he starts singing his parts. You remember?
No.
Yeah. He's annoyed. And he's just like something. Then he cuts her off with his verse. I will have to play for you. There's so many like intentional and unintentional funny shit with this movie, man. And thank you for recommending this stuff.
Oh, no problem.
And please remember to like, subscribe, and comment, or the Repo Man will be coming for you.
If you haven't watched this movie yet, I don't know what's wrong with you. Why are you watching a review for a movie you haven't seen yet?
Yeah.
But check it out for sure.
Yeah, give it a shot. Even though you might have heard bad things, I don't want to go into my whole critic bashing because also, we're critics too, kind of. Check it out. Check it out for yourself and form your own opinion. If you don't like it, you don't like it. But I do think it's worth a check out. Because it's a very unique movie. It's one of a kind, and it definitely I mean, we already saw the potential that it. Not even potential. It is a cult classic now, and cult classic things become cult classic because there's people out there who legit like the shit. You know, rather be a cult classic than a boring movie people don't talk about.
Right.
You know, I'd rather watch a movie like this that maybe not be the best technically, but it still stands out, than a movie that's like Oscar worthy and it's boring as fuck. Like I'll watch this any day over shit like that.
I feel that.
Yeah, but again, thanks for the recommendation. Happy birthday, my guy.
I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, please, you know, if all the 13 people that usually watch this shit, spam the comments with happy birthday to this man.
Appreciate you all in advance.
Is it?